Hi guys, and welcome back to F1 2017 Career Mode. We are here at Italy for Monza, the Italian Grand Prix. What a race this will be. Oh boy, this is fantastic. Just coming off the back end of some pretty good results at Hungary and Belgium, and I'm just taking you through the R&D stuff just to see kind of where we are and all of that. But we have a quality control upgrade that we could possibly purchase. However, that's kind of like at the back frame of my mind at the moment. Quality control hasn't really been an issue. I've only had one part fail. But yeah, we are going to head over to the grid sequence. We're going to see that, of course, Ferrari dominate the first row clearly there. Pretty much within 2/10. So 1:24.7 is the fastest time. That's surprising. And then the next Mercedes about another 2/10 off. But yeah, not too bad for the top 10. Williams getting into the top 10 as well. So it's kind of a Mercedes engine track, but it's Ferrari's home race. We unfortunately qualified 15th, which is a lot lower than what we expected, of course, because normally we're pretty good around good tracks like this. But yeah, that's unfortunate for us. But we're going to have to go into the strategy screen. That was a little bit of a glitch there with it for some reason. Apologies. But we are going to start on the soft tyres. Now this is going to be a bit interesting. Soft tyres not the choice to start on. But then we're going to go to a set of super softs. We're avoiding the mediums completely. It's only really good if we screw up our strategy for the mediums. I think the more aggressive strategies do tend to work. But here we go. We are getting ready for the start of the Italian Grand Prix. 5 red lights and it's lights out, away we go. And ahead of us, Sainz is starting on the medium tyres. And so is Kvyat, and they've had poor starts. And in fact, we've overtook Kvyat for P14. Sainz is ahead of us, and we're going to try and outbrake some people down into turn 1. And wow, we just get trapped behind our teammate there, and we kind of had no place to go. But going through the first 2 turns here, we're going side by side with no other than Julian Palmer, who's unfortunately now out of F1, which is kind of sad. But up once again into P14, and we're getting the slipstream of Sainz. And we're going to try to find a way past him if he doesn't keep parking his car in front of us. But down the inside of him and Magnussen. Or do we? As Magnussen holds it, I tried to get a good line there, but I had to switch to the inside there because he pretty much took the line. And he was slowing me down. So up into P12 now. We didn't do Magnussen any favours, but he's going to go on a different strategy. He's starting on the medium. So this is a contra strategy to what I'm doing. So I'm pretty sure he'll be doing a one-stop. And in fact, I think it's only really a one-stop in the Grand Prix. I think the top runners are going to do a 2-stop, maybe super soft and softs. I guess that's the way to go. But down the inside, or should I say around the outside, then down the inside of Hülkenberg, he kind of did have some good traction there, but we just managed to get past him. Ahead is now Stroll. Now Stroll has been pretty poor with his pace compared to Massa, so it really shouldn't be long at all before we catch up to him. And in fact, it's not. As you can see, we're going on to lap 4. It's the start-finish straight where we're going to gain most amount of time on him here. DRS open, shoving it into lean mix. Let's see how much power this Ferrari engine has over the Williams cars. We go into turn 1. Let's see if we can hold him off. And then we go side by side into the first part of the chicane. And second part, we have the traction on the exit there. Up into P10. We're in the points for now. But our engine is starting to get a little bit worn. The MGUH, I think, is now kind of a ready orange, so that means it's going to possibly fail. But we have a yellow flag here, and I think something might have happened. We're getting yellow flags, so I'm just trying to be cautious here. But then, look, Esteban Ocon is now out of the race. He's parked up on the left-hand side of the track on the start-finish straight. I don't know what happened there. Let's take a look at a replay on board with Ocon here. And it seems that he must have some steering issue, because you can see he just steers like frantically. It's unbelievable. Is it a steering issue? Is it an engine issue? Is it something else? I mean, we'll never ever know for that one. But we're up into P6 by lap 9. And I think this is when most of the top runners have possibly made their stops. Stroll is now on a set of super softs and is going to try and catch us up. And we're going to try and defend going into Parabolica around the outside. Stroll tries to get the advantage. I brake normally on the racing line, and we just about squeeze him out there. Better chassis. In fact, it's not really a better chassis. Williams have a better chassis. I think we just have more downforce, to be fair, for this race compared to the Williams. But P4 now as Stroll launches past us for the the first podium position on offer. As we break down into turn 1, we nearly crash into the back of him. A very, very risky move as we give him room on the inside there. And we get the traction around the outside, of course, and we're up once again into P3. P1 is where we stand. We yet to make a stop. So that's why we're kind of in front. But we're going onto the medium tyres now, as you can see in the bottom right. So we are completely going the opposite way to what I would think, because everyone else is on medium tyres around us. So this is my kind of response to the top runners here, and maybe some like smaller teams like the Toro Rosso team, for example, the midfield teams I should have said really, but they're going on medium tyres. So in essence we should really copy their strategy, because we'll have just better pace in general. But that's just a McLaren Honda that has just launched its way past us, and that's a nice little shot going down into turn 1 actually. It's Van Dorn who's actually on the super softs, but you see we can just like literally put it into standard, not even waste any rich mix to overtake Van Dorn there. And in fact you could probably get away with lean mix there to overtake a McLaren. Of course they still have the worst engine in the game, as you can see. I'm just pulling away pretty much without literally the slipstream making any difference at all for Van Dorn there. But now lap 15, we're 13 laps away from the end, and we are going to catch up to Max Verstappen. He's on the super soft tyres, so he was possibly doing my strategy. It might have been the faster strategy at the end of the day, but you know, consistency is key, right? So it's going to prove it here as we go round the outside of Max Verstappen here. And yeah, there you go. That proves it, doesn't it, that we have superior straight line speed still compared to the Red Bull. I don't think any other car has really upgraded their engine, because we seem to be still pretty strong in a straight line despite our focus on downforce reliability and then the chassis just recently. But going through Ascari, we're catching right up to the back of Carlos Sainz on lap 16. This is for the first points position of the day, pretty much, as we're going to try to look down the inside into Parabolica. Yes, we are. We're just about to squeeze our way through. A little bit aggressive with the squeeze there on Sainz, I must admit. Another car is in the pit lane. We'll gain another position as a result. So we're up into P9 now, and that's Massa in the pit lane on a set of soft tyres. So different strategies now pretty much playing a part, but this is the battle that was going on ahead of me. This is Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo fighting away, both on medium tyres. They're fighting it away. Up ahead, as you can see, that's just me coming right through the exit of Ascari. But this is one fancy battle to watch as we go now. Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo are fighting their way side by side. In fact, Ricciardo isn't even breaking a sweat. He's still sticking with that Ferrari, which questions me. Does Vettel have a problem, or does Vettel have less speed than what the Red Bull has this Grand Prix? Who knows? But Vettel maintains his position there in front of Ricciardo. So that was a good battle to watch actually. But now Kevin Magnussen is out of the race. Out of everyone, it's Kevin that has to go. Well, since Kevin's retired, I should probably look after my engine and car a lot more, as I completely misjudged the first part of the chicane of turn 1. Didn't lose too much time to Stroll there, who we've been pretty much fighting with the most during this race. And he's starting to catch up now. This is where Mercedes will inevitably catch us. But yeah, Perez is pretty much 17 seconds up the road. I think this is pretty much our finishing position slightly. I just about touched the gravel, if at all. I'm not too sure. It was too close to call there whether I touched the gravel or not, but that was literally pushing the true limits of this track on the exit, and that surprisingly didn't compromise us much. But Stroll is going to try and look for a move. In fact, he's gaining an absolute margin on us right now. He goes to the outside. I brake a little bit earlier and to take the apex, but Stroll locks up and absolutely fluffs it up. So he's going to have to try again on lap 26. This is a fierce battle with Stroll at the end here. Lock up on the front left. Doesn't really hamper us too much. A little bit slow through the second part of that chicane there. But now going into the two Lesmos, we're going to see how much time we can actually possibly gain or lose. And speaking of losing time, I touched the grass slightly. so that has kind of reduced the amount of traction we have. But here's on-board Lance Stroll. He's going to the inside of us here, and he just about has it ahead, but his teammate goes right down the inside, touches him, he gets a compromised run. Massa has lost out completely after making wheel-to-wheel contact with his teammate. Williams will not be happy because they've lost a place to me, and also I think Massa has lost a bunch of time anyway, so he's pretty much out, possibly out of this battle, but it's still a lap to go. He could still make it, but it looks like he's dropping back, so he might have some front wing damage. He may have had some compromisation there, but you know, going down into turn 1, let's see if we can overtake Stroll really early on the brakes, and Stroll locks up and he somehow makes the corner, but we're going to go round the outside to gain the outside line, squeeze him a little bit there. That allows Massa to catch up to the back of us two, but fighting away as we go through this really long right-hander. The Mercedes powered Williams is fantastic there. So we have to go to the inside to overtake him in this little chicane here. We're going to give him the space like we did with Hülkenberg and Magnussen, of course. And yeah, we just about get ahead, but it's obviously not over yet. It's still lap 27. This is the final lap of the race. It's do or die, really. But Lewis Hamilton has won the race. What a surprise. It's an upset for Ferrari again. But yeah, as we got going into Ascari, I think Stroll might just have the edge here, and he certainly does. We make the chicane, but Stroll somehow is managing to keep it side by side through the middle of Ascari, and I nearly took him out there, so I just had to take a little bit of avoiding action there to stop crashing into him. But that was some risky stuff. As we go into Parabolica, this is the final corner. Can we actually gain some more time on Stroll? Will Massa be able to overtake? And the answer is no to Massa being able to overtake Stroll, and we come home for P7, which I have to say is not it's not great. It's not the worst either.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today.
Well, it looks like it's a very successful day for Lewis Hamilton. Everyone pretty much within the top 10, except for about one driver did the one stop, so that was the way to go, really. But, you know, Sebastian and Kimi, well, Kimi was better than his teammate, surprisingly. It actually surprised the heck out of me that Raikkonen was so much better, but obviously at the back there, we have Ocon and Magnussen, who are the two DNFs this race. But looking to the Drivers' World Championship, we edge out Max Verstappen there to go P6, and quite a way behind Daniel Ricciardo. So I think the top 5 is pretty much as it is now. I don't see us or Verstappen breaking into the top 5. We just don't have the pace, quite simply. You know, I mean, we can't challenge for podiums regularly, but you know, Magnussen is still there on 8 points. He's only 2 behind Sainz, so that's pretty good for him. Hopefully he'll be able to gain some more time. More points, quite frankly. And we're still 6th in the Constructors, only 2 behind Force India. So, you know, if Force India have a disaster, well, and we get more points than them, then fair enough. We've pretty much overtaken them. But there we go. We're at the end of the race with 666 resource points. What a number. What an absolute number that is. But, you know, the rivalry, we've just outright won against Hülkenberg there. So he's no longer our rival, which kind of disappoints me. That was a nice little rivalry. But obviously, for some reason, the top teams didn't like us. Williams liked us for some reason, even though we battled with the Williams team pretty much all race, which leads me to believe that if you can battle with a car maybe better than you.
Hey, what could this be? Could it be a promotion to first driver? I think it might be. You read the details. You've earned it.
I was about to say that if you battle a team with a team ahead of you, they could end up getting the reputation up. But then this happens. We've got a team promotion. Finally, we are #1 driver, so we receive more resource points for the upgrades. Thank goodness for that. My goodness, it's been so long. It's been so long since I've really wanted the first driver role. So now we can possibly gain an edge over pretty much our progress this far in the season. But you see, it's not really being productive. We've had 3 upgrades for performance and a lot of reliability upgrades, obviously with the gearbox and such being a pain with us in the first half of the season. Patches and that, now we won't probably have that problem anymore. So that's going to be on hold, the reliability for the gearbox anyways. But as you can see, look, our chassis is completely worse than Williams, and our aero is even way worse than Williams. So for some reason we can somehow battle with the Williams car and yet finish ahead of them, which doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. But yeah, we're gonna focus on the chassis. I've probably said this before. We're focusing on the chassis for the end of the season. Also, we'll gain another core competency if we can complete like 1 race as the #1 driver. That's going to be fun, and then we'll get more resource points. But yeah, as you can see, we might need another engine part actually, because look, we're on the 4th turbocharger. Yeah, that's not going to go to the end of the season, no way. With the practice programs and all, we need the resource points. I don't want to set back on practice at all. I want to keep going. I want to get resource points. I want to upgrade the car as much as I can. I want to participate in every practice program. I don't want to miss practice because of some engine like issues. Which leads me to believe, are we going to need another engine? Or we're going to need like a 5th component of everything? Then at the end of this season, I can kind of judge what parts wear more than others, and then focus my reliability around that. So definitely the turbocharger for next season, reliability wise. Maybe towards the end of this season. I don't really know. To be fair, I really want to get the performance upgrades, and I want to get the resource point reduction upgrades, so we can kind of have a better season 2 if I stay with this team, that is. But yeah, that was the Italian Grand Prix, a good race, and yeah, it's a little bit disappointing in terms of points, but hopefully we can bounce back at Singapore. Hopefully, with the downforce upgrades that we've done and the chassis upgrades, we can finish quite highly there, because we were pretty good at Baku. So I'm pretty confident that we can finish quite high in the next race. But if you have enjoyed, leave a like on the video. It really does help me out. Subscribe for more F1 2017 career mode. More to come, obviously, and hopefully we can get more resource points. Well, that's going to be it from me, and I shall see you all next time.